Welcome to Your Inner Power with Krista. This podcast is for the deeply intuitive ones, the curious ones, and the ones who follow their own path and embrace their uniqueness. We'll chat about all things spiritual, life's adventures, and always go back to deep self-trust because it's all within you. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. We are now on episode 12. And last night I was trying to think about, what do I want to record about? What do I want to chat about on the podcast today? And nothing was really lighting me up. I didn't have any bright ideas. So as I was falling asleep, I just put it out into the universe and I was like, let me know what I should record about because I really don't know. And right away, I got a download to talk about desire. So that is the topic for today. I believe that your desires are sacred and they are in your heart for a reason and they are meant to be acted on. And I have always been one to follow my desires. I have always been one to have deep faith in myself and deep trust in myself, even if no one gets it around me, and act on my desires and do the thing. And I understand that's not always easy. And that's why it's important to speak about. I had the desire to quit my corporate job and go all in on a hobby and a side hustle of creating recipes for Instagram and doing content creation. It was such a strong desire, and I just understood that this is something that I need to do and I need to try for myself. And I could have easily ignored that desire. I could have easily said, well, maybe down the line, that doesn't make sense. I'm not making enough money yet. Let me just climb the corporate ladder a little bit more. I could have said all of those things. But the desire was, I want to quit right now because I know if I quit right now and go all in, I can create something bigger than what I see right now. I acted on that desire. And what happened when I acted on that desire was that I created an extremely successful business, something that was so much bigger than what I was doing as a side hustle or hobby at the time that I quit. And it led me down a rabbit hole of growth, expansion, and then eventually burnout, which led to my spiritual awakening. And then I had the strong desire to shift my entire business, something that I built from the ground up, and take it and basically light it on fire. Yes, I still have my blog, but I completely shifted my Instagram, and my Instagram is what was bringing me money from brand deals. And I said, I'm done. I'm done doing brand deals to promote different products for recipes. I want to be an Akashic Records reader. Again, didn't make logical sense to anyone outside, but I knew this was a desire planted in my heart and I acted on it. And from acting on that desire, here we are. I have created this successful business doing Akashic Records readings, doing mentorship, sharing how to use your spiritual gifts and hone your spiritual gifts. I have now created a podcast. There has been so much growth and expansion and ups and downs through acting on that desire. And why this download came in to speak about desire is because so many of us have deep desires. And it's not about quitting your job. It could be any type of desire. It can be that you desire to go on a vacation to a very specific place. You know, there's something there for you. Maybe you have a desire to take up a new hobby, learn something new that you never learned before and you have no prior experience on. It could literally be anything. And we hold ourselves back from really acting on those desires. We hold ourselves back because we're afraid of judgment from other people. We're afraid of being cringy. That's like the new word that you don't want to be cringe. We hold ourselves back because we don't have proof of success and we don't want to let ourselves down in any way. But when we don't act on our deep desires, we are abandoning ourselves. We are saying no to ourselves. There's something there for you in your desires. They're in your heart for a reason. Let's go into the judgment piece for a little bit and being afraid of people judging you for whatever it is that you are doing. And I'm going to just use myself as an example. So when I decided to shift into being an Akashic Records reader, and no one really knew about this spiritual journey that I have been going through for years behind the scenes, and I just came out and I switched over my Instagram and I said, "Hey, I'm an Akashic Records reader. Here I am." Over 20,000 people said absolutely not and unfollowed me. That's over 20,000 people saying no. That's over 20,000 people not supporting me. Am I not going to act on my desire because 20,000 plus people don't agree with me? Am I not going to help the X amount of people who are waiting for me to share my gifts? Am I going to hide because I don't want my friends or family to think I'm cringy? I think personally, it's way more cringy to not act on your desires and to just live a life that you think paints a certain picture. I think that's pretty cringy. The bottom line is you're not going to be able to please everyone, and not everyone is going to agree with you or get you. And it's not your job to explain yourself. I don't need to convince you that I am an Akashic Records reader. I don't need to prove to you my spiritual gifts and my spiritual abilities. I don't need to tell you, oh, this happened to me here and this happens to me here. And I experienced this and this and this. And this is why it's real. And this is why I'm doing it. No, I'm just doing it because I know I'm supposed to do it and it's real to me. And the experiences that I have are so deep and just beyond words. And I don't need to explain that to anyone. If you want to come on and join me for the ride, come. And if you don't, that's okay. But every time we say no to that desire in our heart that keeps bubbling up and bubbling up and bubbling up because it's there for a reason, we abandon ourselves. We say no to ourselves. We turn away from ourselves. So, next time you have that deep desire within your heart to move forward in some way and you worry about what people think, I want you to come back to yourself and I want you to ask yourself, why do I have this desire? There's a reason that I have this desire. Why does this keep coming up for me? Why is there a ping that won't let me go? Why do I keep getting the same ping over and over and over again? Because there's a reason. And it's not possible to know the outcome of something, to know that it's going to be successful or you're going to have this positive experience. But trusting that you have this desire planted in your heart and you're meant to take action because you feel that deeply. And whatever it is that you're supposed to experience from taking that action, you will experience. And it's perfect no matter what. It contributes to your growth no matter what. I think particularly when it comes to desiring to start a business and be an entrepreneur, many people expect, well, I just want to make sure that I'm going to be successful, or I want there to be something very concrete that I can turn to know, okay, this is the X amount of dollars that I'm going to make this year, and I know I'm going to be okay. And that none of that is entrepreneurship. It is a wild ride of unpredictability. But the thing that I come back to over and over and over again is my deep faith and trust in myself, and that I know that I desire to do this for a reason. And it's in my heart for a reason, and I'm here for the ride. So I encourage you that when those desires bubble up and you feel them in your heart, to look at them and observe them and think about how to begin to take action on those desires. And even if it's baby steps, and coming back to the deep trust and faith that you have in yourself, and knowing there's a reason for this desire. There's something here for me, and I want to see what's here for me. I'm ready to see what's here for me. I'm not going to worry about all the outside noise. I can't control the outside noise. If I wait for the outside noise to get on board, I may never experience. I encourage you to remember that there is a reason why that desire is planted in your heart. Say yes to your desires today, and say yes to yourself today. Another short and sweet episode. I am going to leave it there, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Your Inner Power with Krista. If this episode resonated with you, please leave a rating and review. This helps my podcast grow and reach new listeners. You can connect with me on Instagram at Krista Nastu. And if you're feeling called to go deeper, links to work with me can be found below. Until next time, remember, everything you need is already within.